Welcome to Dr. P.C. Verma Economist YouTube Economics class. Today we are discussing the India's merchandise trade deficit in 2025. Views of Dhananjay Sinha, CEO and Head Systematics Group is explained for the purpose of the students who are appearing in UPSC, IAS, IES, Allied Services, RBI officers get examination, and BPSC, Bihar State Financial Service. This topic is very, very important in PT, mains and interview. In the interview, if you clear all these, final round interview is very important and it helps in the success. So today we are studying the real factor of Indian economy regarding India's merchandise trade deficit in 2025. We all know that current account surplus is found in the fourth quarter of 2025, financial year 2025, fourth quarter of fiscal year. Fourth quarter of fiscal year 2025, India's balance of payment recorded $13.5 billion current account surplus. This is one side of the story. On the other side, this current account surplus is primarily fueled by service exports and remittances. Net transfers predominantly remittances. In contrast, merchandise exports have stagnated despite initiatives like Make in India, production-linked incentives, PLIs, vigorously pursued various free trade agreement, FTA, and corporate tax cut aimed at boosting manufacturing. Goods export contribute only 53% to total export, a 35-year low and down from 67% in financial year 2013 and 81% in financial year 2096. This decline mirrors the fall in manufacturing share of India's gross value added GVA to 13.9%, a 66-year low compared to a peak of 20% in financial year 1996. World Bank data reveals that 103 out of 200 countries saw an increase in manufacturing GVA share over the past decade, while India and China experienced declines, possibly linked to the China's deindustrialization and dumping of goods in Indian market, intensifying global trade protectionism further threatens India's manufacturing competitiveness. India's merchandise trade deficit widened to $287 billion in financial year 25, 7.3% of GDP, though it narrowed to $58.7 billion in quarter 4 from $78.7 billion in quarter 3. Merchandise exports contracted by 4.3% in Q4, while imports grew by 1.2%, leading to a 1.1% contraction in overall trade. Since the post-COVID period, in financial year 2023, exports and imports have remained flat, with compound annual growth rate, CAGR, of minus 0.13%, minus 0.19% respectively. The merchandise trade to GDP ratio has plummeted to 28% from 37% in second quarter financial year 2023. And including services, the total trade to GDP ratio fell to 43.2% in fourth quarter from 52.6% in second quarter of 2023. Reverting to pre-COVID level, this decline in trade openness signals fading post-pandemic gains and raises concern about India's integration into global markets. A potential global GDP slowdown could further erode services export, risking a wide CAD in the future. Remittances, a key pillar of India's external balance, grew by 17% in financial year 2025. India's balance of payment balance of payments BOP recorded a dollar 13.5 billion current account. Current account surplus in the fourth quarter in the fourth quarter of fiscal year 2025.
Okay.
in the fourth quarter of fiscal year 2025. Equivalent to 1.3% of GDP. Equivalent to 1.3% of GDP. This surplus driven by robust services, robust service export, and remittances paints a picture of external sector strength. The current account surplus, the current account surplus is primarily is बिरयानी खा ले, थोड़ा सा खाना है हमको।
Chicken. चिकन मंगा दे सकते हैं आपके लिए, मम्मी आके रोटी बना देंगी।
नहीं, हम नहीं खाते हैं।
अब बिरयानी खा लेंगे।
हम खा लेंगे। The current account surplus is primarily fueled by services, export, and remittances. In financial year 2025, net service export, net service exports surged by 25%. By 25%. Reaching $188.8 billion with $53.3 billion in Q4 alone. Business services grew by 112 percent in Q4. Software services maintained a steady growth at 12% at 12% in Q4. Net transfer net transfer predominantly remittances remittances rose by 16.6%. 16.6% in financial year 2025. With a 9.7% year-on-year increase. Year on year year-on-year year-on-year increase in Q4 in Q4, providing pro providing a stable inflows less tied less tied to tied to domestic domestic GDP fluctuation. GDP fluctuation one, two, three. Number 4. Services now account services now account for 47% of India's of India's total exports total exports of goods and services. Services underscoring under scoring a growing dependence growing 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 dependence growing dependence on the global on the global economic environment. Economic environment. Environment. Number 5. In contrast, merchandise exports exports have stagnated, have stagnated, stagnated, have stagnated, stagnated, despite despite initiatives like making India production linked production linked incentives PLI vigorously pursued vigorously pursued various free trade agreement free trade agreement FTA and corporate tax cuts tax cuts aimed at boosting manufacturing. 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 चार पाँच छः 'Goods exports contribute only 53% to total export to total exports. A 35-year low, 35-year low down from down from 67%. 67% in financial year 2013 and 81% in financial year 1996. This decline mirrors decline mirrors the fall in manufacturing in manufacturing manufacturing's share of India's gross value added GVA to 13.9. 13.9%. A 66-year low compared to a peak of 20% in financial year 1996. Thus, we conclude that present statistics shows that current account surplus is primarily fueled by service exports and remittances. And net transfers, predominantly remittances, rose to 16.6% in 2025. In contrast, merchandise exports have stagnated. In spite of Make in India, production-linked incentive, PLIS, vigorously pursued various free trade agreement, FTA, and corporate tax cuts aimed at boosting manufacturing. Goods exports contribute to only 53% to total export. A 35-year low, down from 67% in financial year 1913 and 81% in financial year 1996. This decline mirrors the fall in manufacturing share of India's growth value-added GVA to 13.9%, a 66-year low compared to a peak 20% in financial year 1996. So this is all about the rising dependence of our balance of payment, primarily on service exports and remittances. In contrast, merchandise exports have stagnated. And there, despite initiatives like Make in India, Production Linked Incentive, PLI, Belarus pursued various free trade agreements, FTA, and corporate tax cuts aimed at boosting manufacturing goods exports contribute to only 53% to total exports. And finally, this decline in merchandise exports mirrors the fall in manufacturing shares of India's gross value added GVA to 13.9%, a 66-year low compared to a peak of 20% in financial year 1996. So this requires further finding out that what are the regions that continued even after so many facilities and initiatives like Make in India, products PLI, tax cut, FTA, but the goods export contribute to only 53% to the total exports. Thank you for watching this video. Continue it. This is a very important factor in interview and written test. Balance of payment relating to current account and capital account, two accounts are there. We are focusing on the current account surpluses as the achievement, but at the same time, we are also contrasting the merchandise exports have stagnated. Thank you for watching this video. Share it to your friends, discuss on this issue. Like it, share it, and subscribe to channel Dr. P.C. Verma, economist. I have been teaching economics from 1973 to 2025. I was professor of economics, HOD, Department of Economics, Patna College, Patna University. And I have taught in many other universities like Chanakya National Law University, BIT Mesra, Patna campus, postgraduate diploma in actuarial science in Science College, Patna University, MBA classes in Patna University, postgraduate department of applied economics and commerce. And I had taught in NIFTEM, Sonipat, Haryana, via New Delhi. MBA students of NIFTEM by taught by me. Twice I visited there as a guest professor. Main purpose of my teaching is to equip you real data, clear conception, clarity in the factors determining whether for progressive achievement or regressive achievement. As in this case, we have got the thing that net transfers and remittances and service exports dominated balance of payment, capital, current account. And Make in India and other PLI for increase in merchandise exports. Still today, merchandise exports have staggered in spite of these facilities given to them. It is most important to ponder into it what should be the remedy. Thank you for watching this video. Like it, share it.